Hi there and welcome to a blockchain story. This is again created by Wice Labs and this is Pawan here who is narrating you the story. So let's understand blockchain as a definition and we'll use a little story to understand very clearly what the blockchain is and what are the characteristics it has which will make it unique. Let's start. Now, what is blockchain? Is typically defined as like this. Originally, blockchain is a growing list of records called blocks, which are connected by nodes through the process of validating the transactions containing hash with a unique nonce. So well, that is defined as a blockchain, but don't worry about the words like blocks, nodes, hash and nonce, because now in these presentations we are going to see what they are so that we'll put together at the end and understand the whole blockchain. So let's start with a simple story. What we're going to learn today is block, node, hash and nonce. So the story goes like this, the story of Jack and Bob. So to my left, that's a Jack, and to your right, that is to your left, it's a Bob. To your right, it's a Jack. And Anna, Mary, and Adam are the friends of Jack and Bob. Bob here is a accountant, and who is going to keep all the transactions which are going to happen between Anna, Mary, Adam, and Jack. So he is responsible to keep the accounts very safely. He is responsible to keep the accounts very clear and very straightforward, and no cheating. Whereas Jack here is a very naughty fellow. He always wants more money so that he tries to cheat whenever he can. So let's see how the story goes. So who gave coins to whom? Anne gave 3 coins to Mary and Mary gave 5 coins to Jack. Jack gave 3 coins to Anne. Anne gave 1 coin to Adam. So that's how the transactions happen between them, and Bob, as a very good fellow, has written it down on a paper and or a ledger you can call, and put it away for safety. Next, what happened is, I told you, or naughty Jack went and got the book and just struck off the Jack and changed his name to Mary, gave 3 coins to Anne. So, as I told you, he's very naughty and he was very greedy of coins, so he just changed the entry. Then what happened? Why did he change the entry? Why was it so easy for him to change the entry? As you can see that there is only one person controlling it, Mr. Bob. That's why it was very easy for him to just go and just change the entry. Now, who interfered with my ledger is a Bob's question. So what Bob does is, let me make my ledger a bit complicated and I shall add hash to my ledger. That's how he's going to keep his diary or ledger a bit complicated if again Jack wants to come and change it. So what he does, what is hash? Let's learn what is hash first. Again, by definition, a hash is a function that converts an input to letters and numbers into an encrypted output of fixed length. A hash is created using an algorithm and is essential to blockchain management. So that's its definition of hash, but now we're going to see practically how the hash is created and how we can use it to save the ledger. Let's talk hash. So input cat, the output hash is so much. So that, as you can see, is the hash which is always given when you input cat. The word cat will give you that hash and it will always stay the same and it's very unique for the cat. It will never change. So what if I input a white cat is outside? Then you have an hash again. What if I change a white cat is inside? The hash changes. What if I change the spelling of white? The hash changes. What if I change spelling of inside? The hash changes. So every little thing which you change, hash changes. So that's the reason I tell you hash is very unique to the input which you give. And now how is that going to help Mr. Bob to save his transactions from cheating? Let's see that. So what Bob did is, Anne gave 10 coins to Mary and he hashed it. Mary gave 5 coins to Jack, he hashed that too. And now Bob thought this hash is very unique to that entry. So Jack would not be able to meddle with the entries, or Jack will not be able to cheat. So what did our naughty Jack did? He went on anyway to cheat again. Mary gave 8 coins to Jack and he just striked up the old hash and put a new hash. So Bob is again in a fix. So Jack has came again and he changed everything. So what did Jack do? Jack got angry and he thought he was going to make this entry more complicated. So Bob complicated it by adding hash of previous transaction to present one and so on. Input, whatever the input you have, you can see, and hash is generated, and that hash is combined with the input again so that you get a new hash, and that new hash is combined with the previous input again to get a new hash again. So as you can see, that's how the cycle runs. Now the jack isn't fixed. He was like, oops, I can't really do anything now because it's too hard to cheat. What did Bob do? Bob went one step further again. So what he did is he wanted to get it complicated and immutable by adding nouns. And now what is nouns? Let's define nouns. And nouns, number usually used ones, is a number added to hashed block that when rehashed meets the difficulty level restrictions. Well, it may be confusing just to read the definition, but let's go and see how it is going to create difficulty and how it is added. So what did Bob do? Bob wanted to have 0, 0 at the end of each hash. That's what he wanted. So how could he get that 0, 0 at the end of each hash? By adding a number 41451 in case of the first input, adding a number 13 in case of second input, adding a number of 467 in case of third input. How did he manage to get or guess those numbers? Is very complicated software he used to get those numbers. So it is very complicated to get 0, 0 at the end, and it's a lot of time taking process and a lot of logic. So that way your entries can never ever be cheated again. So Jack tried again, but he lost. If ever Jack wants to cheat or change the records, imagine the time and money he has to spend to find the correct ounce for the transactions. So that's how it has been put to a great security called immutability. So now what did Bob thought? Let's go ahead, and now that he has all information and he has added the ounce and he had added the hash, the whole thing together is called the transaction of called block. The informative ledger transactions from a block. That block he has to go and put it in the nodes. So what are nodes? Any computer that connects to a Bitcoin network is called node. So these nodes are across the world, and Jack's information is in all the nodes. So now you see the definition or characteristics of blockchain here. Provenance, which is defined as which computer is the first computer to get the copy and where it can be traced to. That's called provenance. Then immutability, as you can see the ounce, as you can see the hashes, as you can see the number of copies present everywhere. It is very hard to change the things. That's immutability. Second is highly availability. Third is highly availability. Highly availability is something called nodes are present everywhere. Even the one node is off by any chance, you have different nodes again carrying the same information. So in that way your information is available 24/7, 365 days. So that's how Bob has secured his ledger in a blockchain, and Jack could not change or cheat or do anything about the entries because of its immutability characteristics. So Bob, let's say, is now a part of blockchain. That information becomes a block. Now let's go ahead and see again what we have learned as a definition of the blockchain. Originally, blockchain is growing list of records called blocks. As I told you, blocks is the information of the transactions becomes the blocks, which are connected by nodes. Bob went and put his copy in all the nodes which he can through the process of validating the transaction containing hash. I told you how Bob has created his entries into hash. Then the unique nouns. So as I told you how Bob has created a noun security called 00, which is increased his capability of hashing and capability of restrictions, capability of puzzle to the higher side, thereby creating the greatest security. So that's how a blockchain can be defined, and that's how a blockchain can be used in a transaction world to make it more secure and to process it faster and to have the characteristics as immutability, provenance, and having availability of 24/7, 365 days. So that's how the blockchain is. And thank you for listening to Wice Labs once again. And we'll meet you with a new topic next time and a new story. And till then, bye from Bob, bye from Jack, and bye from Pawan. Thank you.